Welcome back to the Go M.A.D podcast. I am your host, Christopher. Once again, welcome back to season 3. This is season 3 now, and I'm so excited for everything that we have to talk about today. So many things have been happening this year, and now in this season 3, it's now we're preparing for, we're winding down and preparing for, everything that's to come next. And over the last few days, I don't know if I didn't mention it I did mention it in my last episode, which you guys should definitely check out. I did an amazing episode with a very special guest. His name was Ernesto. He has a lot of insight, and it was a very fun conversation to have with him. So I really, really encourage you guys to go check out that episode and share with others, because it was a very powerful message, and a lot of great things that we talked about there. One of the things that I mentioned there was a few weeks ago, my wife and I celebrated being debt free, and it is such an amazing feeling. I don't even know how to describe it. It just as like a testimony. We got married last January. We've been married for a little over a year and a half now, and last year it was our first year, and immediately me always, as it's just a characteristic of a man that, like, you immediately into the finances. So for me, like, in the first year, I wanted to buckle down and look at our finances, and my wife kind of provided influence and insight, and we were like, you know what, it's our first year, let's enjoy, let's learn, and let's go through the process and really just take our first year to do that. So I did that, and we took a step back, and we did get into a lot of debt. So then at the end of last year, last December of 2019, we sat down, because I had this in my heart for so long and I wanted to share with my wife. So we sat down together, and I said, I want us to be debt free. I want us to be debt free together, so that we can look towards all the next things that are going to come. So we sat down and we calculated everything, all the income that comes in, and also everything that gets taken out with expenses. And our goal was literally to maximize our income by minimizing expenses and eliminating debt. That was literally the motto for the year: maximizing our income by minimizing expenses and eliminating our debt. So we had a goal to accomplish that by the end of this year. This year, that's 2020, roller coaster of a year. So many things have come up back and forth, and I'm always just, this whole year, obviously a huge curveball. And with all these things coming up, there's a lot of things that weren't expected that kind of threw us off course, kind of added debt to our plan. And honestly, it got to a point around May or mid in the middle of the year, where I was like, I don't think we're going to be able to do this by the end of this year and pay our debt off this year. We might have to push it for January or February of next year, where we'll be able to be done with everything. So that was very sad, because we were determined to get it done this year. So just as bad situations came up to throw that off, a lot of good things came up. And I honestly, as I am a man of faith, I give all the glory to God because of that, because a lot of situations came up that I wasn't expecting, and they helped us out so much. And it really just gave me this huge like feeling of support, knowing that this is going to happen this year. And then finally, a few weeks ago in September, so we were able to make our final payment on the last credit line that we had, and we paid it off completely. And that was such an amazing feeling to do that. We did it. I remember, I don't think this is a memory that I will ever forget. My wife and I were just sitting on the floor, on the carpet in the hallway. We were just sitting down there, and I was like, we can do this right now. And I just went on our account, made that final payment, and it submitted. Boom, went back to the homepage. It was gone. And it was such an amazing feeling, guys. I really was so happy to feel that. And it was, what was it? It was like 4 months earlier than when we were expecting to pay off all our debt. We were able to do it. So we were very happy to do that. And in doing that, obviously, we started to celebrate. So we went out and we went shopping. We got different things. In fact, I got this polo. I probably look like a high school coach, but I like this style. So we were doing that, and I was like noticing different things, and I noticed how, like, in our life, especially like around the different seasons, we get clothes and dress according to the season, obviously. So now in this fall season, in this autumn time, that things are starting to cool down, which in Florida is not really a big difference, because in Florida there's only two seasons, hot and hotter. So but now it's getting a little bit cool. So in this time that the weather starts to cool down, the leaves start to change. Us as well, we go out and we change ourselves by changing the way we dress, changing the what we choose to wear, and we prepare for like the colder season of the year. And that's kind of like what I was thinking about for this season itself. The very purpose of it is for us to recognize that in this season, I feel like in one word to describe the season, it's consistency. Actually, in two words: consistency and perseverance, which is what I'm going to talk about today. Um, because I notice it. This is coming from me again. I give you guys insight on based on what I'm experiencing, so that I'm not just throwing things out there and just random things that I don't have any experience on. I'm speaking from personal experience. Like, this season feels a lot like, it's like, how do I explain it? It's like, as things are starting to change, like the leaves and your wardrobe, we ourselves are also starting to change, in the sense that it's like our passion. If you have been following along with this whole podcast and this whole journey, and you have actually been growing, and you're in this season with me as well, whenever you're listening to this, doesn't matter when, then you know that at this time right now, this season, at least for me, maybe it's different for you. For me, it's felt a lot like I'm on autopilot. So when it comes to my passion, it's like I know what to do now. I know how to roll. It's like I'm on a roll now. And at the same time, since it is so, it's making an easier flow now. It kind of, sometimes I can put it in the back burner or let other things get the priority, and I just kind of like procrastinate sometimes, because it's like it's become so automatic. And obviously you want to take that as a good thing, and not a great thing, because it's your passion, and now you're on a flow with it. So it's an amazing thing to have. So with me, I noticed that there have been times where I'm just sometimes I fall off, and I lose track, or I lose time, or I don't really like try to prioritize it like I did before. So I see that this season is going to be the most important season for me to like look back at the things that have worked and continue to do those things, and the things that didn't work, to actually intentionally prepare for those things and actually attack those things, take action on those things, and improve on those things this season. And as we're doing that, it's going to take a lot of consistency. Like I said, a big word for this season is consistency. And for you who are thinking about your passion and you're in this season, or maybe you haven't gone through this season yet, or maybe you haven't gone through this phase yet. So this would be a great thing to hear, because if you haven't gone through this yet, this is going to help you out for when it does come up. Then you'll know how to attack this and how to overcome this. So in this season, you might be feeling like, everything is kind of like on a flow. And then at the same time, it feels kind of like you don't want it to turn into something that's repetitive, and then you might get tired of, So I feel like this is a difficult season, and I'm willing to take the challenge. I'm expecting, obstacles to come up, mental barriers and things to come up, so that I can challenge those things and grow in those things. Two things I want to talk about. The first thing I want to talk about is consistency. So when it comes to consistency, in order for us to make sure that we're consistent, like, we have to ask ourselves, like, I want to ask you, have you felt like you've been slacking? Like, when it comes to your passion, have you felt like you've been slacking, haven't really been on top of it, kind of like let it go a little bit, or you kind of like back and forth, you don't feel like you're on it too much? If you're feeling that way, ask yourself, how can you make sure that you can stay focused? And an easy answer for that is to just review your plan for this quarter. So for me, I literally, as I was like taking notes on like today's lesson, I pulled out my planner, because I wrote that down, and it like hit me, because I was like, I need to look at my planner again, because obviously this is something that I'm experiencing, so I have to find the answer myself. And you have to really look at your quarterly, for this season, what your plans and your goals are. And I don't know if you have a planner or you have wherever you write your notes down or your goals. I have like my planner is organized by, it shows like the quarterly goals. It shows, the goals that I might have, why it's important, and the actions I'm willing to take to accomplish those goals. So it makes it very, very specific. And that's how you have to be as well. With your goals for this season, you have to, write down those goals that you want to accomplish. And these are goals obviously that are going to help you be better. Don't make such a broad goal or something that's too general. Be specific with your goals that you want to accomplish, that will be difficult and will help you be better and grow. And once you write those goals down, ask yourself why are they important? Why is it important to you? Why should it be important to anyone else? Keep those questions in mind. And once you answer that, and again, physically write these down. If you're listening to this, pause it and record a reminder, or ask Siri or whoever to remind you for you to write this down, like actually write this down, so that you can have an overlook and it's not just something that's in your head that you're just like, okay, I want to do this. No, write it down. Take out the time to sit down and write it down so you can see what's to come up. And after you make the effort to write down what's important and why it's important, be specific with the action steps that you're willing to take to make those goals happen. And you have to be, again, specific, super, like think of those goals and mentally see yourself accomplishing them, and ask yourself, what action steps do I need to take to make this happen? Like, what kind of action do I need to take today to make this happen? And make a list, minimum 3 to 5 things that you want to accomplish for those goals, and be specific. And once you make this whole plan out, obviously I mentioned this a lot in my season 2 finale, so I'm just giving you an overview. So if you want to really get a better breakdown of that, listen to that episode. But you want to be specific with it and this is kind of like your guideline for this season, so that whenever you feel like you're struggling or you're not doing so well, go back to this and look at this and see what's on your mind and your heart and what you want to accomplish, and keep going through with that. And as you're looking at your plan and the little action steps that you have to take, that kind of helps you come back to the moment here and stay focused, because it's much harder for you to stay focused when you don't have anything to focus on, right? When you don't have any goals, nothing like that, everything's just in your head. You're like, yeah, I think I want to do this, I want to do that, but you don't actually have anything that you want to accomplish. You don't have anything written down. So that's why it's good to have this plan for this quarter, for this season, that you can attack, that you can move forward into, and keep reviewing it. Like, this is it, like I said, this isn't something that you just write once and then you let it go and you're just like, all right, let me just go. This is something that you want to review every day, like every chance that you get. Whenever you feel like you're procrastinating, whenever you feel like you might not be doing so well, use this as your reference to like keep you accountable, so that you can move forward and follow through with it. And again, don't think of this journey on your own. The most successful people found those success with people around them. So ask yourself in doing this, if you're struggling or if you feel like you're slacking, who can you find to help you? Reach out to that person. Send them a text. Do the difficult thing. Send a text and be like, yo, bro, I need your help. I was like, or hey, man, hey, girl, whatever. I need your help. Help me out with this. I need someone to hold me accountable. Make that effort to reach out to that person that is for you and will support you and will sharpen you and help keep you accountable. And reach out to that person and keep that person with you, because as us as humans are by ourselves, we're gonna fail always. No matter what, we're gonna fail. So it's much easier to get back up when you have someone by your side helping you up. So find that person as well. The next important thing that that is going to take for us in this season is perseverance, because in this consistency, in order for us to be consistent, it means that we're going to have to push through in the good moments and in the tough moments. And this is something that I learned myself a lot, that I've seen, and you've probably, if you think about this, is probably the same for you. Some of our greatest moments rise from our most difficult times in life. And that's something that has tested truth to my life, because I've gone through so many different things, especially in this year alone. So much has happened, and it has shown me that no matter what, things are gonna happen. Like, things are gonna either fall apart, or see a victory, see something accomplished, or things might not go as planned. So no matter what, like, things are gonna come up, obstacles, things. No matter what, you're gonna fall. All of these things are gonna happen. And what I noticed so much is that in those moments, like those moments that you experience either like a lot of pain or a lot of struggle, or a really big like feeling of not knowing if you are going to continue or you want to continue, it's in those moments that you have to tell yourself, this is the exact moment I need to tell myself to move forward and to keep pushing through, because that next step that you might take, it might be the one where you see that success. And as I've mentioned this before to you guys, success is really just failure repeated. Like, think about that. Like, no one just went on one try. I mean, I don't want to say no one, because I don't know everyone in this world. Maybe there's someone out there that might relate to this, but there's no one that I know that on one shot was successful. You try something out, you fail, and then you keep trying, you keep trying, and then as you repeat that failure, each time you fall, you look at how you fell, you look at why you fell, what didn't work, and then you attack it again. Each failure, each time you fall, you find a new way to get up and to make sure you don't get knocked down again. And if you do, then you learn something there, and it's like a constant learning experience. So for all of you guys, don't be afraid to fall. Embrace that fall. Embrace those moments that you might be struggling. Embrace this season where you might struggle, where you might go through the situation, and expect them to come up. In the last episode, something I mentioned is for this season is to, expect the best and prepare for the worst. So expect the best, meaning with your goals and the things you want to accomplish. Obviously, you're going to aim for the best and prepare for the worst. And what that means is for you to mentally, emotionally prepare yourself for the barriers that will come up, the obstacles that will come up, that will throw you off, that will keep you off, and will knock you down. And expect those things to come up and prepare for them. And the best way to prepare for them is to know that they're going to happen, and ask yourself, how will you learn from those moments? That's such a powerful question, like, that I learned this year, that it's something that I am willing to take any challenge and see anything go through, because I constantly tell myself, what will I learn from this, or how can I learn from this? I look at every situation, whether good or bad, whether it's an obstacle or a success or a victory, whatever it is, I always ask myself, how can I learn from this? And when you decide to frame your mindset around the same thing, and you ask yourself, how can I grow from this? How can I learn from this? Especially in those tough moments, it completely changes your perspective, because now you change from seeing a tough situation and moping around, or wasting time being sad, or struggling and letting the struggle overcome you, when instead you can change your perspective to being someone that when those moments comes up, it kind of excites you, because you're like, okay, this is happening to me right now, I'm struggling, what can I learn from this? How can I be better for this? And use those moments to persevere and push through. And I want to ask you, have you been losing hope? And I want to ask that as like a personal question to you, and whoever's listening to this, I hope this hits your heart. Have you been losing hope? I want to tell you, push through, keep pushing through. If there's no one else in your corner, if there's no one else by you that's helping you move forward, I want to tell you right now that I am here for you, even though I might not know you directly, because you're just watching me or listening to me right now. But if you're listening to this, then that means that this is meant for you. This was meant for you to listen to this today. So I want to tell you to keep pushing through, because as I said, at the end of a struggle is a lesson learned, both in victory and in failure. Take that away with you. I want you to keep that in your heart. At the end of a struggle is a lesson learned, both in victory and in a struggle, and in failure. And something that I mentioned in a previous episode as well is that a diamond. Think of a diamond. Think of Think of a huge rock that you be flashing around. Or if you've seen someone, one of your friends, when they got proposed to, and they be like, show off that ring, and they go, oh yeah, look at my ring, and you see that rock, and you be like, dang, that's nice, and they flash it off and everything. And we see different diamonds, and you can go from the smallest diamonds to a huge rock that holds on your finger. You can barely hold your hand up. So think of those diamonds, right? Whether big or small, and how beautiful it is to everyone who looks. Everyone sees it, it's like, wow, that's amazing, that's beautiful. You can see that from when you look at it. And that diamond, those specific diamonds, are only created under extreme pressure. Think about that. When people look at those things, when people see that beautiful ring, that beautiful rock, people are looking at a beautiful thing, and not many realize that that's created under extreme pressure. And I want to tell you that under extreme pressure, if you push through and you let that pressure, if you embrace that pressure and keep pushing through, something beautiful will come out of it. And people will then look at you and see, wow, that person is shining like a bright little diamond. And it's for you to embrace that pressure. So I want to end with a story. Once again, I am a man of faith, so I want to mention a story from the Bible. It's a story. Now, I don't know really how to pronounce his name. I try to see how I can pronounce his name right. I don't want to butcher it, but his name is Naaman, or not in Spanish is Naaman. So in English, Naaman. So the story, Naaman was a commander of an army. And he's considered great because he was able to, God through him was able to accomplish something amazing. And he was a great commander, and a lot of people, appreciated him. And the downside was that he had, he was a leper. So what that meant is that he had that nasty skin, like this really bad condition. And a lot of people, when they see that, a lot of people, especially back in the old times, people stayed away from that. So everyone was like, I need to stay away from that. So he continued to find help to see how can he get rid of that? How can he, be cleansed of that? And someone came up to him and said, there is a prophet who can help you. And it was a man sent from God. And that man went to the commander, to Naaman, and Naaman asked him, how can I be healed from this? How can I get better? And Naaman told him, go to the river and dip yourself in there 7 times. Now, whatever your reaction is the same as Naaman. He was like, what is this guy talking about? You want me to go to a river and dip myself in there 7 times? And like, it's not even enough. Like, you just take a little swim. I got to go in there, get out, go in there, get out 7 times. And he kept like going back and forth, like, nah, I don't want to do that. I'm not feeling that. And then his servant was able to convince him and say, no, you know what? Do it. So he was like, all right, I'm going to do it. So he did it 7 times. And after the 7th time was when he came out of the water and he was healed, cleansed completely. What do I want to say with this to you? That in our lives, we're going to go through a lot of situations, and it's going to take for you to keep dipping in the water, keep testing things out, keep trying it out, keep going, keep moving forward, keep pushing, because you don't know when that next time you dip inside and you test it out, when you might get out and find something amazing, find success, find victory, find something great out of it, where you might be cleansed and learn something new. So that's why it's so important for you to persevere and push through and continue trying, even if you fail, even if you come out. Because Naaman, for example, he came out the first time, nothing. Second time, nothing. Third time, nothing. Fourth time, nothing. Fifth time, nothing. Sixth time, nothing. 7th time comes out cleansed perfectly. So in your life, you don't know how many times it's going to take before you finally get out and see the success and see what you were looking for and evaluate that. So that's why I want to encourage you to keep pushing through. And I hope this sticks to your heart, because I want you to keep pushing through. I believe in you, and all you have to do is keep dipping in that water, keep testing it out, and push through in this season. Learn to be consistent and review your planning, and let that be implanted in your mind. And when the situations come up, when the problems come up, when the struggle comes up, expect them and continue dipping, because there's going to be one more time that you're going to take, and success will come out of that. So I hope this lesson today has impacted you guys. I know today's episode might have been a little bit longer. I was just very passionate, very excited to share this with you guys. So If this is something that you feel like has impacted you and you think can impact others, don't hesitate to reach out to other people. Share this link, a very simple share. Just be like, hey, bro, or hey, sis, hey, girl, listen to this, and share with someone. It's important for us to grow together and really make a difference in our lives and in the lives of others. And you can do that with just a simple share. Share it on your story, share it on your page, share it with a text to a personal friend, share it privately, whatever you have to do, share it. Take that one action today to do that today. And you guys can follow me. You can follow my Instagram page at Go M.A.D Official. You could also follow me at Chris Go M.A.D on Instagram. On Twitter, I'm at Crisito is mad. You can also follow my Facebook page at Go M.A.D. And guys, continue to invest in yourself. And in this season, as we continue in ourselves and maximize ourselves, make a difference in ourselves, and go out and show others how to do the same, we can all go mad. I'll catch you guys in the next one.